Phew, well, hi there everybody. Just over a week before the end of this year. We're nearly there, and this is the moment we often take a bit of time to start reevaluating a few things in our lives, clear out some cobwebs, maybe prepare for this new page of our life by going over how things have gone in the current year, by organising our hopes and plans and projects for the year to come. And in our case, we've really got quite a sort of stable life at home. So fortunately, it's just for me to organize the business side of things. So the most recent plan really, which needs building up, is this venture here on YouTube. I'm sorry, but I've been really bad at posting on Instagram and Twitter. I am not at all a social media person. So I think this YouTube channel is interesting because I hope that I can at least provide some information, maybe some help, some support, at least some insight and an assistance and comfort maybe as well to those who are trying to start up an artistic business and in particular fursuit making business. Concerning the videos, you may have noticed that I do have like different categories, maybe not quite clear yet, but I do have a sort of plan, which has been so far general furry stuff, things about me, business, and some leisure. And in this coming year, I'm going to also add a fursuit making section. So hopefully there will be these 5 categories to my videos, and I want to try to keep them in a fixed order. So I'll do my best to do that. Let me know if these categories seem good for you, or if you think one is coming too often. I'm open to maybe changing that up at some point. At the moment, it's really just the beginning. I've only done 5 weeks, so it's all a test run at the moment. So let me know what you think. Starting this YouTube video has been quite a discovery, though the amount of work necessary is staggering. I was not very well organized to start with, and having started these videos, it has really made things difficult time-wise for me. So I will have to see if maybe I might have to cut back on some videos, but at the moment I'll try to follow this plan every week on Friday. I'm sorry last week was already a bit late because I had problems uploading the video, but yes, I will try to do it every week. I will let you know if I have to change that rhythm. So back to a review of the year. This year has been a series of ups and downs in quite rapid succession, so often at the same time, leaving me feel quite lost and winded, to say the least, sometimes. Fortunately, there have been a lot of discoveries as well. I have had an amazing year, finally being officially registered as a fursuit making business, and having finally this direction. I have been wandering around blindly for too long, and having this clearer path and having an actual title, being able to say, yes, I'm a fursuit maker now, it's been quite a relief. It's a freedom and a comfort to know that. Never really knowing what I was and always saying, oh yes, I've done babysitting jobs, I've done secretary jobs, I've been a carer, I've been lots of different things and as an actual job. And I've also had so many things that I wanted to do that I've just had no idea what I was doing really. So it was quite a heavy burden to be sort of wandering around like this. So I think it's amazing to finally know who I am. And I do wish that same relief to any of you, all those of you who are still searching for yourself. It's only the beginning of this whole new project. There's still a mountain of work to do to get this business off the ground. The amount of learning itself is huge as well. The path itself is not as clear, but it's slowly I'm getting there. Especially since I have to learn so many different things, as I said in the previous videos about the different roles one plays as a business owner. It's exhausting. It's quite exhausting, but at least the fundamental concept of what I am is a lot clearer now. So yes, as I said, I believe in you. Hang in there. You can do it. Try things and you'll find something. I believe, like most artists, I'm struggling to consider my work good enough to be worth putting out there, to be chosen. It's really amazing to be able to get feedback, positive feedback about one's work. And I mean, those little drops are helping against this huge mountain of you're not good enough yet, or you haven't got an original style, all these things that go on in one's mind. I mean, I don't even know my style yet, and I'm still practicing, I'm still looking for my style. And then you start to see some people are just amazing, and on one front they inspire you, but on the other front you just feel like I'm never going to get there. But I think that the most important thing is the inspiration. It's like I can see where I want to get. So I'll get there slowly, but it is very hard to sort of push oneself to do that work to get there, because on the one front you're motivated, and on the other front you're just so terrified of failing that it's ironically seems easier to just not do anything and not risk a failure. But as always, you've just got to go beyond it and continue whatever the fear of failure is. That being said, I was amazed and so enormously grateful to the 2.5 people. Yeah, I say 2.5. It was 2 actual commissions and 1 desire to commission me. Maybe it might happen, we'll see. Who so far have trusted me to bring their character to life. And I have Dexter here, who I made as a partial with an actual side accessory, which was it's not really included in the furry world, but it was absolutely fantastic to work on this piece, this leg piece here. However, I would love to talk about the other one that I'm currently working on at the moment, but this person has requested to have a surprise reveal, so I cannot disclose any name or photos or anything yet until the suit is finished and sent and received, obviously, by the client. But thank you so much. There's you will be forever forever in my heart. Thank you. I was also extremely pleasantly surprised that my orders came in so soon after the events where I met these people. I actually met these people in person. And it's, considering that I'm really bad at marketing and really no good at social media, it's true that I do depend a lot on these conventions, because that is where, obviously, and meetups, this is where I have met these people. So it was such an amazing feeling to receive that commission after you've met those people in person, and being able to sell your art like that. It really helps. It makes you realize that you're on the right path. And I mean, for me, that's what it was. It's helping me realize, yes, I'm going in the right direction. I'm going to get there, and I just have to keep going. And it's boosts like this, these commissions, that have helped me through the sort of darker moments where I'm just like, needed that strength to get through the internal struggles. Because the instability of this world is terrifying. I mean, I have been on very irregular jobs. I've not been in very often in any corporate business job where I get my pay slip and all the trimmings on the side. I've often done jobs at people's homes. So it's maybe regular, yes, but not the same system. And now I'm just moving even further away from the system, where it's becoming really, there's moments where I just feel like I yearn for that regular cushy paycheck where I know I'm going to be fine, and getting those days when you're officially allowed to be off on holiday, or if you got sick days as well you need to take. It's on the money front, it's the frustration of the overhead costs and the taxes and and all those side things you need to pay that eats up the money, and it's quite depressing sometimes as well when you finally receive your pay for the suit, and it's like all has to go straight into the things you need to pay. As I was talking about the cost of the business and the prices you put in, I mean, yes, obviously at some point the prices are meant to cover that, but at the beginning when you're starting, you've got so much investment, so many investments to make, sorry, that the difference between your personal money and business money is very, very faint. Most of your personal money goes in it as well. I have already done a general video about pricing your work, and next week I shall be going into more detail about these overhead costs. These are all the expenses you have to pay to run your business. This year, between the accountant's fee, the contributions, taxes, let alone all the rest, has really made me realize the impact of taking these costs into account, because they add up very fast, and sadly, yes, they eat up a chunk of your income. Also, realizing the cost of the conventions was quite a shock as well. It does add up quickly when you've got to pay for the hotel, transport, traveling there, and obviously any food you might need there or any activities. Talking about conventions, this year has been absolutely fabulous. I finally have attended my first furry conventions in Italy at Verizon, and Germany at the Estrel for the Eurofurence, and a meetup also in the UK at Southampton. It was wonderful to finally meet other furries, finally see other fursuits. I'd never seen another fursuit in the flesh there standing in front of me, and obviously get into this community, and I just can't wait to see them all again. It's just so exciting. However, on the downside, yes, unfortunately I was not spared the downs. I'm not sure that with all this rush this year, all this activity this year, I do not know if it was some form of burnout, or maybe a slightly depressive phase, or a counter effect after all the hype, or maybe even the dreaded COVID. I think it was probably the latter. Might be a mix of all the rest as well, because I tested negative all through September, October and November, and yet all my symptoms were that of a long COVID, and it was one of the hardest periods, I think. I was really set back after my return from the Eurofurence until, yes, mid-November, and I just couldn't do anything. Even common daily activities, just even walking around the flat, everything was just exhausting. And I mean, of all the artist fears, is this not one of the worst ones? I mean, let me know what you think. But I discovered that fear of being ill and just not able to push yourself. I mean, I'm trying to do stuff, but I just couldn't, and it's being unable to sort of actively defend your business with no safety net from a hiring company, or getting sick days and things like that. I mean, for some, even a day or two could spell disaster for their business. I mean, when you have a little business and you're on your own in the business, if you're ill for a day, as I said, even half a day, nobody is going to do the work for you. Nobody's there to replace you. So, I mean, let alone if you're ill for a week, maybe. Imagine a whole week's work where you can't do anything and nobody else is there to do that work for you. Or let alone worse, imagine people who have chronic illnesses that last over weeks and months and maybe even years as well, for you know. It's just, yes, it's terrifying having that moment of being out of action. This, along with any body injury, of course, is just I think the worst fear of any worker of any sorts, artists, and obviously individual businesses. Your income and your business itself, the image of your business as well, will all come to a standstill. So it's all instantly affected. So it was a pretty difficult phase, because for me, I had to cancel my trip to the FBL, the Furry Blacklight in Paris, which was, to me, was like what I had been aiming for through the year. This was the goal, to get to the FBL, have done a small convention, a huge convention, and trying to get this sort of middle convention, which would be a nice sort of size. And especially because I wanted to have, and I got a dealer's den table, and so I was meant to build up my stock and attend this dealer's den. And it was a really harsh and depressing blow to not be able to go to the FBL, because obviously I lost out on any possible sales that I could have done at my dealer's den, and obviously any promotion, and let alone actually meeting more clients or possible clients. So as a beginner, to me, I think the conventions and meetups are really important, because, I mean, who's going to trust you online? They don't know who you are. They only see photos. Are they your photos? How can people have proof that you are going to do what is in the photo? Or also, is your work going to be good enough anyway? And I think that's where conventions and meetups are going to be so important, because the people are going to meet you and be reassured that you are a real person to start with, and that it is more likely that you're not going to scam them if you've met them and talked to them and got an idea of what a maker could be like, rather than trusting completely unknown people online. So yes, that was, I think, yes, it was, after all the hype of the build up of the first part of the year, it did somewhat rather come crashing down. This end of year has sort of gone into a rather downhill. Fortunately, I've got better, and so, I mean, I'm back on track working on my commission. But yes, it's very up and down, I think. Any small business, I mean, any business is going to be up and down. But I mean, the impact is going to be solely on you. You're the one who's got to take all the impact for your business and for yourself. For this year, at the moment, I'm trying to just get these YouTube videos going, and hopefully in time build up a following there. So at least maybe more people can join the furry community and get to know what the furry community is like, and hopefully I can meet more people as well. And for the coming year, I do plan to attend the conventions again, probably the same ones at the moment. That is the plan, and hopefully with a dealer's den stand at each one. On the fursuit front, I just can't wait to work with different species. I've got a bird, a bear, a rabbit, and I think a kangaroo. I'm not actually sure what he's going to be. So yes, I want to try to do different animals. I have several personal projects also on the back burner, waiting to be done. I also have to work on Firi. Firi is going to get a few upgrades. I'm going to redo the feet and maybe the hand paws, probably. I would like to try to make Greyhook, who is going to be my my griffin, with huge wings as well, hopefully. But there's lots of new things starting up. I already know that my Christmas present is going to be an airbrushing kit, so that will also be something really really important to me, because one of the styles I'd like to work towards is a realistic style. At the moment, I'm just feeling my way around a bit, but I do want to aim for a realistic style at some point, which will obviously include airbrushing. So that's going to be probably the biggest challenge for next year. Yeah, finding my style. I think this coming year will be finding what style I'm going to have. As I make more heads and bodies, obviously, I will see which ones I want to make or don't want to make, and then refine all my procedure. I've got to try a few different ways and see which one suits me best. So a lot planned. I also hope to get into electronics to try to do some LED lights as well. Firi is meant to have the moons light up down the back. I did try something, but it didn't work, so I'm going to have to come back and work on that again at some point. So let me know what your difficulties have been this year. What are your hopes and plans for the next year? Wishing you fun and love for this festive season, and I'll talk to you next week on more detailed pricing information. Bye!